Well, hello out there. Thought I'd report in and tell you that in a minute we'll go outside, and I want to show you the Muse. But I had to make some modifications on the Muse because of this heat here, and wanted to show it to you and get your input if you want to have anything to say. But before we go out, I thought I wanted to take a few minutes here and reiterate what I said, I guess it's been a couple years ago now, when I first began these little video streams on training the Passage Coopers, that, you know, I am in no way, absolutely categorically in no way, trying to extol the virtues of training, my method of training Passage Coopers hawks. I just am not in any way doing that, and I want that understood. And I think, frankly, I think most of you would agree with me that it would be foolish to do something like that, because as we all know, there's more than one way to skin that proverbial cat. So, you know, with that being said, let me also mention one other thing, and that is that I don't, there's no ego gratification in doing this either. There really isn't. I will admit readily that for years I was, in fact, concerned about my image as a falconer. I did all that I could to foster it, to enhance it, to protect it, and all that sort of stuff. Always striving to, you know, to be the best that I could be, and to be honest, I never could really understand that. I mean, I'm not stupid, and I often wondered why am I, you know, why am I so concerned about this? You know, because after all, you know, particularly with my background, I knew there were much more important things in life than falconry. And why was I doing it? Why was I wanting to, as I say, be the best that I could be, and be concerned about my image and how people perceive me and all that sort of stuff. Interestingly, in 2000, I took on a job teaching English at a community college. And I hadn't had much experience at that. I taught a few classes as a TA when I was in graduate school, but beyond that, not much experience. And to make a long story short, I was a failure. You know, at least in my eyes, I was a failure. And I felt horrible, absolutely horrible, because I just felt such responsibility for these students, and most of them did not do well. And it really, really bothered me, to the point where by the end of the school year, I decided the teaching was not for me, and so I told the college that I wasn't going to be coming back the following year. Well, you know, time heals, and I thought I would give it another chance at a different college. So I looked around, and I found I was fortunate enough to find a position as an English teacher that was still open. And so I went and applied and interviewed, did my dog and pony show, and got hired. But I knew before I started teaching in the fall that I was going to have to get my head and ass wired together properly. Or it was going to end up, I was afraid it was just going to end up to be another similar experience. And I didn't want that. I truly didn't. Somehow I had to get beyond this feeling of wanting to the importance of being able to excel, to succeed in this business in order to help these students, and this, you know, I had this overwhelming, as I say, sense of responsibility. And I just had to do something about that. So anyway, I went and got some counseling because I thought that would help. And in one of the sessions, this gentleman said to me, Bill, how do you rate yourself as an instructor? Are you below average? Do you feel you're below average, average, above average, good, or excellent? Those were my choices. And I thought about it for a while, and I said, I'm average. And he said, well, Bill, what's wrong with average? If you're average, you're getting the job done. And that really, that really got my attention, because I had never looked at average in that vein. And then it all dawned on me. All of this concern over the years about, being the best that I could be, and worrying about how people perceived me, and wanting to excel in everything, and feeling compelled to do this, and in the case of teaching, feeling just overwhelmed with guilt, so to speak, because I wasn't able to get through to those that I was in charge of, and all that sort of stuff was coming from my 27 years in the Marine Corps, because in the Marine Corps, average is not a good thing. Average is frowned upon, and of course you're always wanting to prove yourself, to do your best, to excel, and so that just opened up my eyes. That really did. It really opened up my eyes and gave me, and what a relief it was to come to terms with that. It really was a relief. So, needless to say, I became more relaxed as a teacher. My teaching, of course, improved. But most importantly, I got beyond this business of worrying about how I was perceived as a falconer, and trying to foster this image and all that sort of stuff. Got completely beyond that. In fact, I got beyond it so far now. I think I'm a little bit, I'm at the other end of the spectrum, and I probably I've gone a little bit too far the other way, because I just don't engage in conversations anymore with falconers, like probably I should, talking about, sharing my thoughts and stuff. If it's something that I feel is in opposition to what they have shared with me, I just let it go. Anyway, the point is, I feel much better about my involvement in falconry now as a result of all this. And again, there's just absolutely no ego involved at all in doing these videos. So, with that being said, one other thing, and I hate to tell you this, but she bent a tail feather on that pole perch. Not bad at all, but it's bent. So I put some hot glue on it, and I also hot glued the one next to it just to be safe. I don't know. I had such good luck with that, with a pole perch. This is a different one, but with a pole perch for years, and now the last two birds, I had to make a different setup on in terms of the buffer and the leash extender, and I don't know if that's it, if the length is screwed up, because I couldn't remember how long the other one was, and I don't know what it is, but anyway, it happened, and I'm letting you know. I'll tell you, this is an example of, of what not to do. You know, this is a training aid, so to speak, for those who may not agree with my way about going about training Cooper's hawks, to point to and say, now this is why you don't do things this way. And they're absolutely right. They would be absolutely right, because you know, most folks would say to themselves, I think anyway, would say to themselves, well, you know, there may be a very good possibility that if I put a Cooper's hawk on a pole perch without a tail protector, without it being wrapped or whatever, that they won't, you know, mess up their tail. Very good. Say 99.5% chance of that not happening. But then most folks would say, well, why take that chance? Why take that chance? And that's me, you know. I mean, that's me. I'm a sloppy falconer, and there's no doubt about it. And it's certainly something that other folks shouldn't emulate, that's for sure. Okay, well, there's my confession for the day. So let's go on out and look at this Muse. Well, I thought before we went out, I'd show you her on her boat perch, kind of kicked back, relaxing, chilling out. By the way, this is the 9th day I've worked with her, and she has flown 30 feet to me in the house now. So another day of that, and we'll be out working on the crayons. But she's coming around. Takes the hood pretty good now, believe it or not. And I got no complaints. She's doing okay. I think she'll work out. Anyway, there she is in all her glory. Alright, here we are. Outside. There's Tough. Kate's over here somewhere. There she is, under the tree, in the shade. And there's the Muse. Let me get it over here. Nothing exciting, as you can see, hopefully. It's you know, I had to build the Muse to kind of blend with the house. Had to be a certain dimension, certain pitch, or the HOA Gestapo would, you know, come and carry me away. And I couldn't bring the light pin up any higher than it is because of the fence. I'll be glad to get out of here, but anyway, let's go take a look at it, and I'll show you. Back out here, I'll show you what I've done. Let's see. Let me get around here, I guess. Yeah, here it is. Let me back out so you can see. You know, nothing really exciting. I got gravel down there, as you can see, but the sole purpose for that gravel is simply to keep me from dragging in mud, this good old Oklahoma red mud, dirt, during when it's wet. That is the only reason it's there. Let's see what else. I kind of jury-rigged that little bath there. I don't know about you guys, but on these, I don't know about the earlier birds, but on the you know, other passage hawks, I haven't had them want to bathe that much. So I thought if I put the perch up, or I mean the bath pan up higher, it might encourage them to do so. So I kind of jury-rigged that little deal there. Let's see now. Okay, what I did was before up on top there was it was solid. It was another one of these 8-foot panels that I had attached, and it was solid, and it worked fine for Coopers as well as red tails. I didn't have a problem with it because I didn't molt these birds through, so I didn't have to deal with the heat.
But because this bird's going to be out here in the heat of the summer, I had to take that roof off because it was just going to be too dang hot. And so I put that lattice on there that you can see, and then I covered it with that vinyl netting just to be safe. And then what I'm going to do is cover that with some shade cloth when I put the bird in there, because I don't I want to discourage it from grabbing, of course, the top of grabbing that lattice, and that's what I wanted you to see. And then gradually I'll back that shade cloth off until it's not there anymore, and then hopefully that will work. Now, as you can also see, I guess, is I have a mister. I put a mister in there to keep it cool, or a fogger, whatever you want to call it. You know, because it does get hot here in Oklahoma in the summertime. It really does, and then you have to deal with the humidity as well. So, you know, I suppose, you know, so anyway. Now, you might ask, well, why didn't he put a window in that shed, or a couple of them maybe? And that's a good question. I didn't do it for two reasons. Number one, when I saw the home, I want it to be a place where people can use as a shed. And two, I found that Cooper's hawks really like having a place that they can go to where they feel secure, and I think it helps to have a little, you know, a little getaway where there's no windows or anything to, you know. I just think they feel better. They feel more comfortable with that. So that's the second reason. Aside from that, that's pretty much it. But if you got any suggestions, you know, let me know. And you know, I'll incorporate them. But I'm hoping that it doesn't get too hot out here. I don't think it will with that mister, with the top being open now. I bought a fan as well, but I think I'm about taking it back because I turned that mister on and it cooled it down pretty good. So I'll probably take the fan back. But anyway, that's it. I'll catch you later.